For more on this, I'm joined from Tunis by the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the Occupied Palestinian Territories, Francesca Albanese. Francesca, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We appreciate that. Following today's deadly attack on Al-Nasser Hospital, you are calling on states to take immediate action to halt the carnage in Gaza. What more can global leaders do? And in your opinion, are they failing the Palestinian people?
Thank you, Leigh-Ann. I don't see member states doing enough. No single state has done enough to stop the carnage in Gaza. I learned from you and from the coverage that was just passed that Israel has recognized that it was an Israeli missile that hit Nasser Hospital, killing 15 people, including reporters and rescuers. Look, this is an attack that has been filmed and could not be denied, but in fact, there have been hundreds and hundreds of those instances, many of them filmed, in fact. Some are notorious, some are not. And Israel has killed 60,000 people by its own admission, because there is an Israeli army leaked paper that confirms, and this was circulated by Israeli media 972, confirms that Israel has killed, so only 1 out of 6 of the people killed by Israel since October 2023 are so-called Hamas combatants. And we know that what Israel defines as combatants is much broader than combatant under international law. Israel knows exactly what it's doing and how many civilians are being killed, and it does so amid members of the cabinet calling for the cleansing of Gaza, for emptying Gaza of Palestinians, and forcing the voluntary migration of Palestinians into other places of the world. So there is an ethnic cleansing ongoing, and genocide is being the means to enforce it in Gaza.
And I think it's important for us to note that the Israeli government says that it regrets any harm from the strike at Al-Nasser Hospital today, and also that it is not committing genocide inside of Gaza. But, you know, we're seeing journalists targeted today, and Gaza is saying that we don't target journalists and an initial inquiry will be carried out. But what do you make of Israel's comments? Are they purposely trying to get the reality of what's happening in Gaza not being told to the rest of the world?
I think that Israel lies and lies and lies, and it's not because of this instance that I believe it. Israel was forced to recognize and to express regret for what's happening because it was broadcasted. This attack happened while it was being reported, and this is why it was not possible. I mean, there was an attempt by some members of the army to say that it was not attributable to Israel, but again, it was too blatant to be denied. But the point is, you know, Leigh-Ann, if we were on October 9 or 10 of 2023, I would understand this claim. But 60,000 people plus dead, and with a famine ongoing in Gaza, which risks to kill 500,000 people, and with the fact that the very Israeli army knows that of the 60,000 people killed, only 1 of 6 was a combatant. And this is something that I and other special rapporteurs have said since the beginning. 70% of the victims have always been women and children. So when you ask me if I believe that Israel regrets what it has done, no, I don't. And even if it does it allow Israel to stop its assault on Gaza and its attempt to empty Gaza of Palestinians? No, of course. And what is going on in the West Bank? How do we explain the fact that Israel is pushing the annexation of the little that remains that is not controlled by Israel of the West Bank? There is settler violence that is tormenting Palestinians as we speak, and it has been the same for 2 years? What about the death of Palestinians in jail, including doctors? What about the rape that has been used against Palestinian prisoners? Israel knows very well what it's doing, and it's doing that with intent. And this is why it's undeniable today that there is a genocide ongoing. You also have the most prominent Israeli human rights organization saying so. Physician for Human Rights and B'Tselem, together with many historians and even some members of the security service.
And Francesca, Jeremy Corbyn has confirmed that you'll be taking part in the Gaza tribunal, which he is going to be hosting next month. Why are you choosing to be part of this, despite the former Labour leader's record on handling anti-Semitism?
I don't think that it has anything to do with anti-Semitism. Let's put this in context. Anti-Semitism is something that I abhor as a European because of our European record of anti-Semitism, meaning hatred and violence and discrimination against Jewish people because they are Jews, and I would like Jewish people to feel safe and happy wherever they are in the world. So nothing more remote from me than anti-Semitism. At the same time, scrutinizing the state of Israel is what has led many people, from the Secretary General to the Pope, and including now the President of the French Republic, to be accused of anti-Semitism. So this is the usual accusation that is leveled against people who tries to bring Israel to respect international law. So Jeremy Corbyn is a member of the parliament who has organized an initiative to bring to scrutiny the actions and possible complicity of its government, like other governments in other political realities, including in Italy. There are lawyers and parliamentarians at work to put in question the role of the Italian government. There is a clear responsibility of member states not to trade, not to sell weapons, not to buy weapons, not to exchange intelligence with a state which is accused of committing war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. Any parliamentarian attempt to bring clarity and justice is to be supported, and this is why I accepted Jeremy Corbyn's request.
And also, the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced your inclusion on the sanctions list, citing your efforts to push international criminal court to investigate both the US and Israel. What is your message right now to both the US and Israel?
Yeah, I hope that your audience understands the absurdity of it. The International Criminal Court has been created as a culmination of efforts of all nations after the Second World War. It has taken decades to bring about the creation of the International Criminal Court, which I'm very proud. It has its statute, has the name of the capital of Italy, the Rome Statute. The ICC is there to investigate and prosecute people responsible for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide, and the crime of aggression. So what is illegal of encouraging the ICC to investigate and prosecute? I've written 6 reports, and in all of them, almost all of them, I've reminded the ICC, which has dragged its feet substantively on the file of Palestine, to investigate and prosecute. And in fact, had the ICC investigated and prosecuted some of the ministers in Israel, we wouldn't have reached the abominable situation that we have faced as of October 2023. But the point is, I do believe, and it's not a case, that the sanctions against me came after my report, which puts under scrutiny the economy of the occupation, in which many private actors, banks, pension funds, investment funds, universities, and arms manufacturers and other businesses have contributed to support the occupation, and in the last 2 years to become an economy of genocide. It's not a case that many Israelis were becoming poorer and poorer, while the stock exchange after post-October 2023 was going up. It has amassed 200,000 $200 billion. Why? Because someone is profiting from the genocide in Gaza. And this is why I think that the sanctions have been put against me, because I was already put on notice by the US administration in May for my work, which apparently constituted a threat to the global economy.
And just before I let you go, Francesca, we are out of time, but just a quick question. How much hate have you faced personally for speaking out against Israel?
Very little. Very little. Besides let's say, the pro-genocide lobby and the pro-genocide axis, meaning all the states who are doing everything they can to defend Israel in its permanent occupation, apartheid, and genocide. Wherever I go, there are thousands and thousands of people welcoming me, receiving me, writing letters to me. And seriously, wherever I go, even recently in Italy, I was in a village which is almost depopulated, and where there were several hundred people from all over who came to listen to me. So no, there is a lot of love and a lot of support and solidarity from all over. Again, this is what I hope, that this is a moment of awakening for all of us, because like Primo Levi, who, by the way, was a Holocaust survivor, used to say, monsters in life are few. But the bureaucrats who push papers to make huge crimes possible. In fact, it's with people like us, ordinary people, who decide to stop this brutality, that the change can be made.
Francesca Albanese, it was fascinating to talk to you. Thank you for joining the show.